The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and our future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Chuckett. Welcome to the program for this 11th day of March. We're vastly coming into Memorial Day weekend. We're hit the quarter pole, and I can't believe it's actually been a week since you and I had a conversation on the channel, which wasn't intentional, and for reasons I really do not want to get into. We should be good. We should be good today. We should be good tomorrow. And then Monday, 11:30, Memorial Day doubleheader. We're almost into June. We're only 2 weeks off where we should be. That's not too bad, considering that I've actually played World Series games in the replay during the real World Series. Anyway, Mets and Padres today for your perusal. Friday night, Memorial Day weekend, the Mets, of course, have taken over first place in the National League East, and that's where I expect them to stay the rest of the way. Sid Hernandez gets the call today or tonight for the Mets. The Padres didn't have a listed starter, and so thanks to Baseball Reference, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, they told me it was Lamar Hoyt, who I would have gone with if I hadn't looked it up anyway. So Lamar Hoyt, Padres are in third place, by the way. They were above 500 at this point, too. Don't know what happened to them in real life, but they are in it with, I got to sneeze here, San Francisco, excuse me, and the first place Houston Astros, who, again, I think the National League is going to be what it was on paper. One more sneeze. But for you today, it is the Mets and the Astros live next on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network, how you doing, Dave Little? Got to be in the front row. Wait till you see the stadium picture. From Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California, it is the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres. Today in our 86 Major League Replay, in today's game brought to you by DigitalAndDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. I believe Mr. Little was on the last episode of Digital to Dice. What'd you two talk about? John Turnbull, that was fun last night. Yeah, I lost. I lose a lot. If you weren't with us for the YouTube debut of the Box Scores from the Basement, Mark Unger and I played a game of Action PC Baseball, and Mark won 5-2 in the opener of the series. Lamar Hoyt making his third start. His numbers are not good. 2-1, a 6.46 ERA, making his 8th appearance. 31 years old. I believe he fought a number of issues, weight being one of them. Fly ball plus pitcher, fastball at 87. These are the games of May 23rd. He went 3 days ago in relief against the Phillies in an 11-3 loss. He did not take a decision. 3 2/3, 50 pitches, 3 hits, a run it was earned, he walked 2. He won his last 2 starts. He beat Pittsburgh on May 4th and the Cubs on May 10th. In fact, he went the distance against the Cubs. 23 2/3 for Lamar. 30 hits, 17 runs, all earned. 4 homers. He walked 13 and struck out 4. Always an honor. Talked about playing unfamiliar sports. Yes, Mr. Gardner will play some basketball, and you seem to love stone cold hockey. That seems to be your hockey game of choice. Here's how the Mets will line up. Mookie Wilson leads off in center field. Wally Backman will bat second and play second. Keith Hernandez at first will go third. Keith's defensive tips for David Ortiz were really handy last night. Darryl Strawberry cleans up and right. Gary Carter behind the plate will bat fifth. George Foster in left will go sixth. Ray Knight at third will bat seventh. Howard Johnson at short goes eighth. And Sid Fernandez will go ninth. Hoyt can go as long as Steve Boros needs him to go. Problem is, he's just not that good anymore. Defensively for San Diego, Carmelo Martinez a 4 and a 4 in left. Kevin McReynolds a 6 and a 7 in center. Tony Gwynn a 10 and a 7 in right. Craig Nettles is a 6 at third. Gary Templeton a 7 and a 7 at short. Jerry Royster a 4 and a 4 at second. Steve Garvey a 9 at first. and a 10 with every airline stewardess on the West Coast. Terry Kennedy, a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. Hoyt, a 4 on the mound, but does not have a fielding percentage. That's not good. It's always a kick, and I suppose I should do this for John Turnbull at some point, to play someone's game in front of the creator. And so it was a bit nerve-wracking last night to play Action PC, which I've done 1,000+ times on this channel, in front of Dave Cook. Mookie Wilson at 280 with an RBI in very limited action. Mookie swings, ground ball to third. Nettles has it over to Garvey, and Mookie's running, but he won't beat it out, and that's how this one starts. 67 degrees, a gorgeous night in San Diego. Aren't they always? Winds right to left at 4. Wally Backman at 393. Looking at the outcome box, it's going to be a long night for Hoyt. Wally has a homer and 11 RBI. Backman swings, fly ball, right field. Gwynn will move over and make the grab, and there's 2 quick out. How you doing, Greg? Let's go Mets. Keith Hernandez at 285, 3 homers, and 14 RBI. By the way, Mr. Gorky, I caught most of the last 3 ends of the Briar Sunday night. How intense was that? Pitch to Hernandez. Slow chopper that's going to get past Garvey into right field. Gwynn will pick it up, and Keith is held to a single. First hit for anybody. This is game 36, by the way, for the Mets. They are 25-10. And this is game number 40 for the Padres. They are 22-17. Darryl Strawberry at 281, 10 homers, and 31 RBI. Fly ball to right. Back goes Gwynn. Darryl got under it, and Tony will make the catch, and that'll do. Mets get a hit and leave a runner on. Half an inning in the books. No score. Sid Fernandez making his 8th start of the year. 5-1 with a 2.23 ERA. Yep, first time winner. This will be Sid's 8th start. A 2.23 ERA. 23 years old. An extreme fly ball pitcher, which works in New York. Fastball at 94. He faced the Dodgers in a no decision 6 days ago, so he last pitched on Saturday. A 2-1 loss. He went 6 innings, 95 pitches, 4 hits, a run it was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 3. His lone loss was to the Braves, who took him for 6 runs on the 12th. Overall for El Cid, 44 1/3, 30 hits, 12 runs, 11 earned, a home run allowed. He's walked 15 and struck out 37. Speaking of Dave Cook, you have a great story. Dave just sent you a free download of the basketball game because he couldn't figure out a problem with the 24 version. Dave Cook is just good people. Let's tell you the Padres lineup. Jerry Royster will lead off and play second base. Gary Templeton at short will bat second. Tony Gwynn in right goes third. Steve Garvey cleans up at first base. Kevin McReynolds in center will bat fifth. Craig Nettles at third will go sixth. Carmelo Martinez in left will bat seventh. Terry Kennedy behind the plate batting eighth. Hoyt on the mound goes ninth. And Sid maybe 8 innings. He only had the 1 complete game, unless you're Barb. And that's never an issue. George Foster, a 7 and a 3 in left as we set the Mets defense for you. Mookie Wilson, a 7 and a 5. Darryl Strawberry, a 5 and a 9 in right. Ray Knight, a 4 at third. Howard Johnson, a 3 and a 3 at short. This infield, with the exception of Hernandez, is mediocre at best. Wally Backman, a 4 and a 5 at second. Hernandez makes up for it. He's a 10 at first. Gary Carter, an 8 and a 4 behind the plate. And El Cid, a 2 with a .955 fielding percentage. Dave goes out of his way. He's from that generation. Keith Avalone, too, is in there. Jerry Royster at 340, a home run and 2 RBI. Dave knows that people play a combination of games. I mean, look, there's manual entry now in the baseball game. Make it right. My philosophy, Todd, as Fernandez deals, Royster strikes out. and 0-2 inside, 1 away, that any idiot can come into my store once. Gary Templeton, not a personal preference there, 284, a homer, and 20 RBI. It was my job when I did retail to make sure that you came back to my store. Pitch to Templeton is fly ball left field. Foster moving over in the alley. That's well hit, but that should hook foul. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, please share that one. You know, it was my job to make the customer come back, and I think that that's what Dave Cook is good at doing. Into center field, Mookie rides in a step or two, makes the catch, and there's 2 out for Tony Gwynn. Gwynn hitting .359, 3 homers, and 22 RBI. Yeah, who are you going to root for, Johnny? Oh, you sold furniture. Yep. How you doing, Scotty? Templeton was likely headed to the Hall of Fame until his glove became the prototype for the future Blue Jay Bo Bichette glove of stone. How the fortunes of history would have changed if Whitey Herzog didn't lose his temper. Hey, Big Dave, how are you? Founder's wife is in the house. Yep, Joan Kroc. I had McDonald's for lunch yesterday. Pitch to Gwynn is a ground ball to Backman. Wally's got it over to Hernandez, and that's the first inning. Padres go in order. After 1, no score. So Carter, Foster, and Knight to face Lamar Hoyt. Gary at 244, 8 homers and 25 RBI. And if you caught it last night on box scores from the basement, Mr. Unger and his 73 Mets and 79 Padres beat my combo 04 Red Sox and 17 Washington Nationals. Carter swings. That's into left center field. McReynolds moving over for the out. 1 out for George Foster. George at 294, 7 homers and 15 RBI. And Templeton was just not a nice guy, Todd. Was hated in San Diego, especially after he flipped the entire stadium the bird. A line drive to Templeton, and he makes the catch, 2 out. For Ray Knight, hitting, gotta do that, 288, 2 homers, 11 RBI. Hoyt deals, Knight pops it up left side, and somebody from Palm Springs will make that catch. The count is 2-2. Hoyt has walked 13 and struck out 4 in this replay. Didn't he win? He won a Cy Young in '83, right? With Chicago, the White Sox. Knight pops it up right side. Garvey moving over towards the photographer's well. The C's part, but he's not going to get that either. Somebody from Rancho Cucamonga made that, and the count is still 2-2. To Templeton, second verse, same as the first. A leaping catch to retire the side. So after an inning and a half, the Mets go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 2, no score. Yep, Templeton just wanted to tell everyone he was number 1, Howard. It'll be Garvey, McReynolds, and Nettles to face Fernandez here in the second. Steve at 268, 4 homers and 31 RBI. El Cid deals. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Foster, and George will make the catch. 1 out. I'm trying to count logos here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so this must have been done after 93 or no? 1, 2, 3. No, you know what? It's pre-93. There must be another banner there. McReynolds at 313, and he'll reach. He chased a 1-2, but it got past Gary Carter, and McReynolds is going to reach on the strikeout. For Nettles at 219, 3 homers and 12 RBI. Popped up. Left side. Knight on the grass will make the catch, and there's 2 out. Big stadium here. As most of the National League West parks of the time were. Trying to know San Francisco, too. So San Francisco and San Diego and Atlanta. Never mind. I'm going to say baseball only, but just off the top of my head, 4 in 86 shared a football and a baseball tenant. Carmelo Martinez at 247, 3 homers and 12 RBI. Don't ask the people at Tops to airbrush anything, okay? But yes, it's a nice shot of the Murph. And Martinez draws the walk. It's Halloween. Everyone's dressed up as empty seats. For Terry Kennedy, 272, 3 homers and 24 RBI. It's certainly better than the offset default photo of the Murph, which you can't see home plate. I don't think this place was standing in 2020. Judging by the seating thing, I see the banner from 84. And it's before 93. I want to say it was after the refurb for Super Bowl 22. The one that Timmy Smith is still running in for the Redskins. First and second, 2 out. Pitch to Kennedy. Struck him out. So Sid gets out of it. He walked a couple and... Actually, he walked 1 and struck out 1 that reached. No runs, no hits. The Padres have left on 2. Go to the third, no score. Yeah, Marlboro sign for sure is a no-no. Hojo, El Cid, and Mookie Wilson to face Hoyt here in the third. Howard at 306, 4 homers and 14 RBI. Got him. So Hoyt got him to chase in 0-2. Fastball, 1 out. I don't think NEC exists anymore, does it? Fernandez, not a bad hitting pitcher. 200, 3 for 15 with an RBI. They did add seats to the Super Bowl. It only happened in Cleveland Stadium in the years probably not numbered 1986. Or disguised as empty seats, yep. Yeah, this looks like the refurb for the Super Bowl. Foul tips it off. The 1-2. Ground ball to Templeton. Gary deep in the hole. Long throw to first. Fernandez is running and he's out on a bang-banger. 2 out. For Mookie Wilson, 0 for 1. Hoyt opening 9, 2 2/3. A hit, 37 pitches and a strikeout. Struck him out, and we're through 2.5. Wilson swung right through it, and Kennedy held on. After 2.5, Mets go in order, and there is still no score. So Hoyt, Royster, and Templeton to face Fernandez here in the third. Lamar, 0 for 8 on the replay with a run scored. And that is in the left field. Foster got it! Had him played perfectly in the line drive, and that's an out. 1 out for Jerry Royster, who struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Opening 9, 36 pitches, 2 1/3. A walk and 3 strikeouts. Interesting bit of trivia about Petco. They could get zoning approval to build a new stadium, so Petco actually is an expansion of the warehouse that sits in the left field line. Or couldn't get, the Western Supply House. If any of you watch the Baseball Bat Bros, that a channel that you're familiar with? Pitch to Royster. There's a liner foul. Third base side, and somebody from Vegas made that catch. It's a ball and 2 strikes. That's a base hit. That's going to be past Hojo. First hit for the Padres. That's going to split the gap. Foster couldn't get there, and Royster's in the second standing. Gary Templeton, 0 for 1. So Royster in scoring position. Padres have left on 2, despite the fact that was their first hit. Struck him out, 4 for Fernandez. And then I'll bring up Gwynn. Sid got him on an outside corner changeup at 87. Gwynn is 0 for 1. Fly ball right center field. Strawberry moving over to make the catch, and we're through 3. No runs, the first hit for the Padres. No errors. They leave on 1, and after 3, it's still scoreless. Going to Petco at the end of June. Oh, it is a beautiful park. So anyway, if any of you familiar with the baseball bat bros, it'll be Backman, Hernandez, and Strawberry. Wally is 0 for 1. Hoyt starts the 4th with a ground ball up the middle. Royster, good stab behind the bag over to Garvey, 1 out. For Keith Hernandez, who singled his first time up. Little number down to 3rd. Nettles has to wait for it. Craig can't get there in time, and Hernandez will beat it out. So the poor play by Nettles, but we'll give him a little bit of leeway, being 41. Strawberry 0 for 1. So the baseball bat bros test out baseball bats. That's the job, and they do it in a variety of different places. But because they are so fun to watch, they've done some things at Major League parks. They've hit at San Francisco's Oracle Park. I watched the video from T-Mobile the other day when they tried to match the home run records there, and they couldn't even come close. But one of the quests that they did was to try to put it on the roof of the Western Supply Building at Petco. He did it with a metal bat, but just couldn't come close with a wooden bat. Strawberry swings. That's into right. Gwynn should and will make the catch, and Hernandez goes back to first. I figured you might have seen them. They really enjoyed their time. He's based out of Portland, Oregon. And if Mr. Utah Sports Mike Machine Time Machine's watching, he actually played college ball at the University of Utah. Yeah, that's what they did. Try to hit the Metal Supply Building. They came close, but it was with a tremendously juiced bat. Gary Carter is 0 for 1. And worth a watch. He is fun. Carter swings right center field. McReynolds, a long run over into the alley, and Kevin will make the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Mets and Padres scoreless in San Diego. So here are the standings. I can't believe it's been a week since we did this. That was not the intention, but real life got in the way. In the National League West, well, let's start with the East because some of you are biased that way. Mets by 5.5 over St. Louis, 6 over Montreal. In the West, Houston a 1.5 over the Dodgers because they have 3 games in hand. And the Padres hanging in there at 22-17. San Francisco 20-20. Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters will keep in touch. And then Atlanta and Cincinnati. American League East, the Yankees a half game on the Tigers and the Blue Jays. 3.5 on Cleveland, 4 on Milwaukee. And Boston just is struggling. What the heck's going on in Cincinnati? I don't know. They were the only other team, they were 86-66 in real life. And they're 12-24 over the first quarter of the year. In the American League West, Oakland a half game up on California. Kansas City 1 back. Texas 3 back. Seattle 5.5 for Chicago, and 7.5 for the Twins. Todd still arguing that the standings are in the wrong order. Garvey's 0 for 1. Fly ball, left field. Foster moving over in the alley. And George will make the catch, 1 out. For McReynolds, who I didn't read the numbers for before, 311, 8 homers, and 29 RBI. Yeah, it is a shot. You've been on that roof. When Bartolo Colon hit his world-famous first home run, he poked one, didn't hit the roof, obviously, but I believe he did hit the building, right? Fly ball to right. Strawberry, future teammate, going back, but will make the catch, 2 out. for Nettles, who's 0 for 1. Fly ball to right. Strawberry again. And Darrell will second verse, same as the first, and we're through 4. Padres go in order. A quick one here in San Diego, no score. How you doing, Barb? So Foster, Knight, and Johnson to face Hoyt here in the 5th. George is 0 for 1. Fly ball, left field, or shallow left field. Templeton calls off Martinez and makes the catch, 1 out. Ray Knight 0 for 1. Every time we do a Met Padre game, and I think I've done a couple over the years, pitch tonight is a ground ball, base hit, pass Royster up the middle. McReynolds throws it in, and that's the 3rd hit for the Mets. Howard Johnson 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Jack Murphy, famous sports writer, I believe for the San Diego Union-Tribune. One of the driving forces for not only this stadium, after the Chargers moved down from Los Angeles when they played in the 60s in Balboa Park, but lobbied hard to get the expansion team, which turned out to be these Padres in 69. Hojo, that's a base hit up the middle. I think, nope, McReynolds going to get there. He does. 2 out. How about that? It's a line drive, and I thought McReynolds was going to have to scrape that one off the grass, but he made the play. 2 out for El Cid, who's 0 for 1. So Jack Murphy was a driving force to get a Major League Baseball team in San Diego, which he did, and build a stadium for the Chargers. Was the brother of Mets Hall of Fame announcer Bob Murphy. And Jack didn't live all that long. I don't know when he passed away, but every time the Mets came to San Diego, when Bob Murphy was the primary voice of the Mets, it had to feel little bit of melancholy. First, pride to have a stadium named after a family member, but a reminder that family member wasn't there. Pitch to Sid is a ground ball to Templeton. Gary will go to first and make a fantastic play, and we're halfway home. A scoreless tie as we go to the bottom of the 5th here in San Diego. Doing well, Barb. Yeah, Bartolo Colon. A great addition to Todd's all-you-can-eat baseball buffet team. Can you imagine the starting staff of Rick Rushell and Bartolo Colon? Oy vey. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Mets. No runs, a hit, no errors for the Padres. Fernandez, a 1-hitter through 4. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. Hoyt, who the computer had as an emergency, didn't have a starter listed. I looked it up, and he started this game, a 3-hitter through 5 and 2 strikeouts. David Wells, yep. Martinez, Kennedy, and Hoyt to face Sid here in the 5th. Carmelo must have walked his first time up. Struck him out 5. Sid actually can kind of go in there too. Didn't he put on some weight, especially with his time with the Phillies? I don't remember him being a skinny pitcher. Terry Kennedy struck out his first time up. 5 for Fernandez on the evening. High ground ball to Backman over to Hernandez, and Kennedy is retired. 2 out for Hoyt, who has pitched very well. Terry Forster, fat tub of goo. But was he really? Or did he just break Letterman's heart one too many times? Yet, Danny, he got the home run in downtown San Diego. Pitch to Hoyt. Struck him out. 6 for El Cid. We're through 5. No score. Oliver Miller and Dinner Bell, Mel Turpin. Oh, that's basketball. Sid will sit next to Mark Portugal. Mookie Wilson 0 for 2 with a strikeout as Hoyt starts the 6th. Popped up. Right side, Royster will make the catch. 1 out. 19 batters for Hoyt. 78 pitches, 5 1/3, 3 hits and 2 strikeouts. Don't ask me to name the NBA player, but somebody had 83 points last night in the game. Second most in the history of the league. Backman swings, ground ball to Royster over to Garvey, and Wally is retired. 2 out for Hernandez. Keith, by the way, is 2 for 2. He is singled twice. He has 2 of the 3 hits. Bam Adebayo. He had 46 free throws. 46 free throws. Someplace, Shaq's jealous. 46. He had 46 free throws. Pitch to Hernandez. There's a ground ball to Hoyt. Oh, and Hoyt can't make the play. He bobbled it. And so that's an error, and 2 out for Gerald Strawberry, who's 0 for 2. Mr. 83 Bam. Now, people were complaining about them going inside to him. Go look at the fourth quarter of Chamberlain's 100-point game against the Knicks exists because somebody turned it on their tape recorder. Pitch to Strawberry. Ground ball to pass Royster into right field. Gwynn has it. Hernandez on his way to third. Tony's going to throw, and it's going to be closer than it should be, but Keith is safe. 2 out. For Carter, who is 0 for 2. Once the Philadelphia Warriors in 62 realized that Chamberlain could do it, they just fed him like you were playing a game of hungry, hungry hippos. The Bullets, or the Wizards, played a Washington Generals type defense. Still, that's 83 points. That's insane. Hoyt deals. Carter swings, base hit, left field. That will score Hernandez. Strawberry should go to third. Martinez throws in the infield. And it's still runners in the corners. 2 out, 1-0 New York. For George Foster, who's 0 for 2. So after a while, do they start playing Sweet Georgia Brown? Dun, 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 dun. And Foster draws the walk. So Hoyt is out of Joe Hardy juice. 2 out here in the 6th for Ray Knight, who's 1 for 2. Ray with a single. Strawberry on third. Carter on second. Foster on first. Struck him out. He got out of it with just the 1 run. How about that? So an 0-2 fastball, and Knight swung right through it. A run for New York. 2 hits, and the error does hurt. After 5.5, Mets 1, Padres nothing. Todd had 66 one night with Bernard King. Replay, because I know that's your sim of choice. It'll be Royster, Templeton, and Gwynn. Opening 18 for Sid. 5 innings, 75 pitches, just a 1 hit. That was Royster in the 3rd. A walk and 6 strikeouts. That is true, Greg. You do have the advantage of the 3-point play, the 3-point shot. However, if you're hanging all over Wilt Chamberlain, you're going to get some of those old-fashioned threes. And if you do it late enough, you get 2 to make 1. Struck him out. 7 for El Cid. Swung through a fastball, 1 out. Carter hung on to it. Templeton 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Not taking anything away from what Wilt did in 62 or what Adebayo did last night. Fly ball, left field. That will hook foul. And somebody from Tijuana eating some barbecued iguana made that catch. Struck him out, 8 for Sid, so we got a good morning and a good afternoon. But it's Tony Gwynn. You think he's going to give Fernandez a side? I doubt it. He is 0 for 2. Will scored 104 in your 62 action PC replay in Scotty in the very game he had 100. Al Red Sox fan has done that game a couple times on his channel too. That strat card for 62 for Wilt is just when you average 50 points a game. Pitch to Gwynn, and he foul tips it, and the count goes to, he wasn't bunting here. 0-2. Base hit right field. That got past Backman. Strawberry has it. And Gwynn, a long turnaround. Wally should have made that catch or play, and that's only the second hit for the Padres. However, that is a tying run. Here's Garvey. He's 0 for 2. Wilt could hit shots from center. Yep. Oh, you saw him hit a couple from center court in 71 against the Braves in Toronto. I think along with Bo Jackson and Jim Brown, probably one of the most pure athletes of the latter half of the 20th century. He could do what Chamberlain could do, could play whatever you wanted him to play. Garvey swings. That's into left center field. That will drop in front of Mookie. Gwynn on his way to third, and the Padres have runners in the corners, 2 out for McReynolds. Wow. Chamberlain had 5 games in his career where he topped 70 points. Wow. McReynolds 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Single here ties the game. Left field, Foster moving over in the alley will make the catch, and the Padres get nothing. They've left on 5, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the 7th here in San Diego. Mets 1, Padres nothing. Yes. Wilt's personal trainers had him doing a lot of crunches there, Steve. Yeah, I believe that was 66-67, Dave. We led the league in assists. I have that in Strat well, and he's got dazzlers all over his passing column, for goodness sakes. Yeah, Maravich hit 68 without the emphasis on the threes. Someone did a study, then the shot charts from his senior year. Well, and an unofficial quintuple-double according to reports keeping... Yeah. So would the fourth have been blocks? Yep, Greg, he held the 400-meter record at Kansas for over 30 years. Hojo 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Struck him out. That's 4 for Hoyt. El Cid is 0 for 2. So someone found the shot chart for Pistol Pete Maravich his senior year at LSU. And I think it would have, his average would have gone up 8 points if there had been a 3-point line in the NCAA that year. Just insane. Fly ball left field. Martinez will make the catch. 2 out, top 7 for Mookie Wilson, who's 0 for 3. Hoyt, 110 pitches, 27 batters, 6 2/3. The 1 run is unearned. Just 5 hits. A walk and 4 strikeouts. Yeah, blocks were not an official stat. Tim said, I'm not touching that one. Tim says, then again, there's also the story of the Serena Legionnaires junior team that went 0 for 50 in the season and scored 83 goals in 50 games. Todd does get bonus points for putting something in the chat that I cannot read. Presented, of course, by the California Sperm Bank. Nobody on. Wilson draws the walk. Assists and blocks and steals and blocks weren't an official NBA stat till 72-73. Dale Brown charted the Maravich games and said he would average 57 points. Yeah. Which is just insane. However, Maravich was the coach's son, not Dale Brown, and there was a lot of pressure on Pete. Wally Backman is 0 for 3. Mookie stays put, ground ball to short. Templeton has to wait. Where is he going to go? He'll go to first. Backman's got good speed, and he beat it out. They really had no chance at Wilson. His only play was at first, and Wally, with his speed, beat it out. So runners on first and second for Hernandez, who has singled twice. He's 2 for 3. Mets have 6 hits. Oh, you can't mention that. Well, you could mention it on a fortnight stream, but we're adults here. Kennedy and Hoyt have a word. Hernandez swings, ground ball to short. Templeton has it. He goes to Garvey, and stretch time, 1-0 Mets. Nettles, Martinez, and Kennedy to face Sid here in the 7th. Craig is 0 for 2. Wilt sat down with Gene Simmons on a podcast. I know where you're going with that. It'd shake me all night long for that. If Pete had stayed healthy, Greg says, and there was a 3-point line as a career, over 30 for sure. His last year, 79-80, was the first year of the 3-point line of the NBA. They always had it in the ABA. And he split his time between Utah and the Celtics. Pitch to Nettles. Struck him out. That's 9 for Sid. And 0-2. Got him looking on a fastball. Here's Martinez. 0 for 1. A walk and a strikeout. Got him. That's 10. He chased an off-speed pitch. Did Kennedy 2 out? Or did Martinez? Here's Kennedy. He's 0 for 2 with a K. So El Cid throwing a 3-hit shutout with 2 out here in the 7th. He deals. Got him. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. He strikes out the side. We go to the 8th. 1-0 New York. So Strawberry, Kiner, and Foster. Do we pull Hoyt? We're going to try to milk Hoyt as long as we can because he's due to lead off the 8th. Oh, my goodness. David Thompson and George Gervin? That would be fun. Maravich shot 60% from outside 19 feet? Oh, my goodness. Or that NBA season. I got to sneeze again. Hold on. Well, at least Mike in the truck didn't hear me sneeze. Strawberry 1 for 3. That's a ground ball, base hit right side. Gwen will pick it up, and we will pull Hoyt. Excuse me. We will go with, oh dear, who do I go with here? I don't want to go with Gossage. McCullers? He pitched yesterday. This is, we can go with Lefferts. Lefferts 1-1, a 6.12 ERA. He's a lefty. 20th appearance. He's 28 years old. Fastball at 90 and a ground ball pitcher. Last pitch 4 days ago on the 20th in that 11-3 shellacking by the Phillies. He went 1 inning, 15 pitches and a strikeout. Everhat, how are you? Yeah, I've actually seen the video of Maravich playing horse at the half. 25 innings for Lefferts, 31 hits, 17 runs all earned. He walked 12 and struck out 19. Maravich shot 667 that year. Oh, my word. John, what are you talking about? Oh, Maravich and Bird together? Yeah. Carter 1 for 3 with a single. 1-0. Mets have 7 hits, have left on 8. Fly ball right field. Gwynn moving over. Makes the catch. Strawberry goes back. 1 out for Foster, 0 for 2 with a walk. Throw down to Royster. Strawberry is out trying to steal. 2 out. Oh. So Kennedy threw him out. It was close. I thought about throwing over, but Kennedy took care of that for me. Nobody on in a ball count to George Foster. 1-0 Mets in the 8th. And Lefferts lost him on a walk. So 2 out for Knight, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Foster not a threat to steal. Knight swings, that's in the left center field. McReynolds moving over. Long run, makes the catch, and that'll do. The Mets in huffed and puffed, but they can't break the barn door down. No runs, a hit, no errors. They've left on 9. And after 7.5, lead at 1-0. So they'll pinch hit. It'll be Bruce Bochy, the lone right-handed bat in the lineup. Or we go with John Kruk. I think we take the reverse splits and go with John Kruk. Kruk wasn't even slender then, was he? 286, no homers and 2 RBI, hitting .313 as a pinch hitter. Talk about the all-buffet team. You think there was ever a time when he was skinny, Todd? Pitch to Kruk. There's a base hit up the middle. Wilson will grab it on a hop, and the Padres had the leadoff runner on. That's only their 4th hit. Fernandez right at the end of his night. 114 pitches, 7+ innings, 4 hits, a walk, and 11 strikeouts. Am I going to bunt here? No, I'm going to swing. Royster is a double, and he struck out twice. And that is pushed past Howard Johnson in the left field. Kruk is going to hold at second. So first and second. Greg saw Maravich play in Toronto against the Braves. January is 74. How many games a year did the Braves play in Toronto? Templeton 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. And you got to wonder if pitching coach Barb will tell Davey Johnson to make the move. Not yet. Templeton swings. That's a base hit in the right center field. Wilson will pick it up. Kruk around third. He will hold. So the Padres have loaded the bases and nobody out here in the 8th. For Tony Gwynn, who was 1 for 3 with a single. Kruk on third, Royster on second, Templeton on first. A single likely gives the Padres the lead. They played 16 games over 5 years. That's cool. Carter and Fernandez have a word. Deep breath from Sid. Struck him out. That's 12. Oh, my word. That was huge. You strike out Tony Gwynn, you get a gold star. 1 out for Garvey, 1 for 3. Mets infield still playing in. Garvey up the box. Fernandez home for 1. Hernandez for 2. Fernandez gets out of it. He had the bases loaded and nobody out. He struck out Tony Gwynn, which is news all unto its own. And then Steve Garvey grounds into a WWE double play. 1, 2, 3. Ding, 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 ding. We go to the ninth. That hurt. 1-0 New York. It's the third one of those we've had in a couple of weeks. We've had 2 as a walk-off. Thurman's tomorrow's pitcher. They'll go with the Goose. Gossage is only 34? I thought he was considerably older than that, about 86. He's not had a great year. He's 0-4. A 6.16 ERA, 16 games, 9 saves, but in 14 chances. He's 34. Fastball 92 and a ground ball pitcher. He leads the National League in saves. Including one 2 days ago against the Phillies in a 4-1 win. He went 1 inning. 15 pitches, a hit, and struck out 2 to pick up his 9th save. To lower his earned run average to .616. 19 innings, 18 hits, 14 runs, 13 earned. He's allowed 5 homers. He's walked 8 and struck out 21. Dave could talk about international finance and men's fashion all day, but work must intrude. Little known fact is that John Brown and Seymour Knox were going to sell the Braves to Harold Ballard, and the team would have moved to Toronto in '76. Instead, the Braves are essentially traded Howard Johnson 0-for-3 with 2 strikeouts to Boston. The ownerships traded teams, and the new Braves owners moved them to San Diego, while the original Braves owners stayed with the Celtics. I don't think we talked about international finance today, but you never know. Struck him out. Here's El Cid. Johnson took a 1-2 and swung on and missed. I wonder what channel Dave was watching. We talked about men's fashion today. Sid is 0-for-3. I imagine they'll pinch hit here. Yep, Danny Heat. Danny is a pinch hitter, hitting .417 with 2 RBI. Overall, 283, a home run, and 6 RBI. Fly ball to right. Gwynn going back, and that's gone. A huge pinch hit home run from Danny Heap, and the Mets go up 2-0. But speaking of leprechauns, I think someone is wearing blue pinstripes tonight, huh? My goodness. So Gossage, in real life, allowed 8 homers and 64 2/3. Has allowed 6 and 19 1/3 in the replay. Mookie Wilson 0-for-3, a walk and a strikeout. That's a base hit left field. And Wilson tries for 2, and he can't do it. McReynolds threw him out. Mookie got greedy, and now there's nobody on, and 2 out for Wally Backman, who's 1-for-4. Popped up. Cat says a few words. Royster is there. And Jerry makes the play. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Jesse Orozco comes in to save it for the Mets. That was fun last night, Mark. Yep. That really was fun. Orozco is making only his 9th appearance. Jesse is 29. He's a slider pitcher and a fastball at 89 and a ground ball plus pitcher. 2-1 for the Mets. He has no ERA. Making his 9th appearance, he has made 3 saves out of 5. He got the win against the Giants last night, presumably in San Francisco, a 5-4 win. 2/3 of an inning, 10 pitches. Overall for Orozco, came up with the Orioles in 79, by the way. 11 innings, 6 hits, 2 unearned runs. He's walked 3 and struck out 8. Well, Bellamy was a personal favorite of Greg's, but didn't play in Toronto. Yeah, Orozco pitched, I believe, till after I got married. I think he was the last player to be in the majors from when I was in the 4th grade. Kevin McReynolds 0 for 3 with a strikeout. But lefties can go forever. They're like Volvos. No defensive changes for the Mets. Pitch to McReynolds, who's 0 for 3. Ground ball to Hernandez. 1 out. David Ortiz says I can make that play. Padres 2 to tie, 3 to win. Nettles. They'll pinch hit. Bruce Bochy. Bochy at 143. 2 homers and 4 RBI. That's a base hit. That's going to get past Backman in the right field. Strawberry will pick it up. And Bruce is on. So the tying run is Carmelo Martinez. He is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice and walked once. Bochy can steal, but we're going to wait for Orozco to decide what he wants to do. Goes to the plate. Fly ball to left. Foster, crowd likes it. That's well hit. Foster turns and watches it go. We're tied up. The Padres get 2 in the bottom of the 9th to make it a 2-2 tie. As Martinez hits his 4th of the year. That wind is blowing in from right at 11, so it really wasn't a factor there. Martinez just got grooved one, and Foster, nothing you could do about it. Hit it off that Brave logo out there in left field. Terry Kennedy 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Orozco gathers himself and walks Kennedy. The winning run is on. Oh, now I got a pinch hit again. Oy vey. Not a lot of good options. It's going to be Marvell Wynn. The former Pirate, 400 as a pinch hitter, 309 overall. 2 homers and 4 RBI. Kennedy, the winning run. And he's about to come out because we had to use Bochy as a pinch hitter. Struck him out, 2 out for Jerry Royster. 2 for 4, a single, a double, and 2 strikeouts. Take care, Mark. Orozco a bit rattled after giving up the home run. It's his first 2 earned runs of the year. Royster, base hit right field. Strawberry grabs it on a hop. Kennedy is on his way to third. Strawberry's throw will go to third, and he's safe, and Royster moves up to second. So now the winning run is 90 feet away. And Royster grabs the Adirondack chair and sits on second base. For Gary Templeton, who is 1 for 4, he is singled and struck out twice. He has 2 game-winning RBI on the year. It doesn't mean he's walked off 2. Mets and Padres 2 runs and 9 hits aside. San Diego has an error. The Mets have left on 9 and done that loom large now. And the Padres have left on 7. Orozco fidgets on the mound. Comes set. And walks Templeton. And now there is no place to put anybody for Tony Gwynn, who struck out his last time up. Sid Fernandez struck him out. The sound system doing Martha and the Vandellas, nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. Gwynn's got a single. Kennedy on third is the only runner that you need to worry about. Templeton sits on the bag at first. Orozco deals. Ground ball to short. Howard Johnson to Backman, and we're going to play some freebie baseball. Wow. The Padres, a 2-run homer from Carmelo Martinez, has tied this game at 2. Steal home. Kind of late. Bonus ball. So Gene Walter, 25 years old, 1-1, a 1.75 ERA, 16 appearances. Fastball at 94 and a ground ball pitcher. Some freebie baseball for you. Pitched against the Phillies last night, inning in the third, 8-5 loss. 24 pitches, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. 25 2/3, 12 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, a homer. That came against the Cardinals on May 8th. 11 walks and 17 strikeouts. Pods have made some changes. Flannery is a 3 at third. Bochy a 4 and a 4 behind the plate. It'll be Hernandez, Carter to start it off here in the 10th. Keith is 2 for 4. And Hernandez draws the walk. I guess I picked the right game today, right? Strawberry and Carter. Strawberry is 2 for 4. He is singled twice. And Kevin Mitchell's going to pinch hit. Okay. Yep, a 158 average. So here's Mitchell. He has an RBI as a pinch hitter, hitting 298 overall, a home run, and 5 RBI. So Hernandez, a go-ahead run on first as we play the 10th. Fly ball, left field. That will hook foul. And somebody from Oceanside will make that catch. Todd, so sweet. A chance for me to extend my managerial loss streak. You've been talking to Unger again, haven't you? 0-2 the count. Walter deals. Struck him out. 1 away. Well, no. The poll, by the way, 92% for the Mets. I think just Mr. Yingling voted for the Padres. Gary Carter, 1 for 4 with an RBI. How you doing, Paul? Carter rips this one to left field. That will drop in front of Martinez. Hernandez will hold at second, so 1 out and 2 on. That's a 10th hit for the Mets for George Foster, who has walked twice. He's 0 for 2. Chops it foul, first base side. And Garvey will wait and flip it to someone wearing an America West uniform. Not sure what that means. Yeah, it's nice here. We had 72 in town yesterday, Paul. It was actually hot for Hot Sarah. 0-2 the count to Foster. Walter deals. Struck him out. 2 away for Ray Knight, who is 1 for 4. It'll be Garvey, McReynolds, and Bochy for the Padres in the bottom of the 10th. What the score is depends on what Ray Knight does. And Ray is 1 for 4. Right center, McReynolds moving over. Kevin, that's well hit. Will make the catch to retire the side. Mets threatened but do not score. No runs, a hit, a walk. They've left on 11. We've had 21 combined runners left on base. Bottom 10-2-2. So Garvey, McReynolds, and Bochy to face Orozco here in the 10th. If the Padres score, they win the ballgame. That is a ground ball to Hojo. He can't play it. The winning run is on. Howard Johnson's 13th error of the year. Santana had to have been hurt. That'll bring up McReynolds, who is 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Garvey not a threat to steal, but we really don't have anyone to pinch run, so he's got to stay. Orozco, this is not his best game ever. And McReynolds walks. The winning run is in scoring position and nobody out. For Bochy, hitting 172 now with 2 homers and 4 RBI. He singled his first time up. The temptation is to bunt, but he's not a good bunter. Got him. 1 out. A 2-2 inside on the black. Second strikeout for Orozco. Here's Martinez. His homer in the 9th is why we're here. And then I got to decide what to do with Walter. Carter and Orozco have a word. Ground ball foul, third base side. Somebody from Torrey Pines made that play, and it's an 0-2 count. 1 out. Orozco has been through the ringer. He's on 52 pitches. Walked him. We're going to get another 1-2-3 double play. Now I got to pinch hit for him. Oh, my word. And the last one on the bench is Dane Orge. Dane at 208 and an RBI. Garvey on third. McReynolds on second. The infield playing in, the outfield playing in. And Martinez on first with a tired Orozco on the mound. A walk ends the ballgame. Bite your fingernail time. Orozco deals. Ground ball to Backman. Where he's got to go home. Garvey. No, sir. He scores. Padres win. You can't do it all the time. Garvey was off on contact. He slid, and he is safe. And the Padres walk it off 3-2, which is good because I was out of pitchers. So 4 hours and 8 fake minutes for a certified classic in San Diego. The Padres go to 23-17. 3 runs, 9 hits, and an error. That was a great game. And they left on 10. The Mets 2 runs, 10 hits, and an error, and they left on 11. Walter gets the win. He went 1 inning, allowed a hit, walked 1, and struck out 2. It was the Gossage homer to Heap in the 9th that gave the Mets a 2-0 lead. Fernandez pitched a whale of a ball game, 8 innings, 6 hits, a walk, and 12 strikeouts. But Orozco falls to 2-2. He blew his third save, an inning and a third, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, a home run allowed. That was to Martinez. He walked 4, which is unusual for Jesse, and struck out 2. Hoyt, 7 innings, 7 hits, an unearned run. He walked 2 and struck out 4. Garvey had it's a night game, and it took 4 hours. So, yep. So the rest of this Friday in baseball for you momentarily. That was a gem. Absolute gem. Cubs beat the Astros at Wrigley 11-6. Sutcliffe 3-3. Solano 0-1. Bob Dernier 4 for 5, a double and a steal. Toronto in 10 over Cleveland 4-3. Dennis Lamp beats Rich Yett. Lamp 2-0. Yett 0-1. Barfield 3 for 4 with his 11th home run of the year. Oakland beats Detroit 4-3. Jose Rio 6-2. Dave LaPointe 1-4. Pat Sheridan 3 for 3, a double and a steal. Pirates beat the Reds 2-1. Win 2-4. Tom Browning goes to 3-5. Bo Diaz hits his second, drives in 2. Angels beat the Yankees 8-3. Jim Corbett 2-1. Eddie Whitson falls to 1-2. The Yankees walk 10. DeCinces 2-for-4, hits 2 homers and drives in 4. Milwaukee beats Minnesota 4-3. Tim Leary 6-3. Bert Blyleven falls to 3-6. Dale Swaim 1-for-3, hits his second and walks. Chicago pounds Kansas City 9-1. Joe Cowley goes to 1-0. Saberhagen falls to 6-3. Jamie Quirk 2-for-3 with a home run. Texas beats Boston 5-2. Korea goes to 5-3. Wilcam Boyd 3-4. Dwight Evans 2-for-4, hits his 6th. Cardinals double up the Braves 6-3. John Tudor 2-6. Zane Smith falls to 1-6. Billy Sample 3-for-4, hits a second and steals 2 bases. Philadelphia all over L.A. 11-3. Shane Raleigh 2-5. Jerry Royce falls to 2-3. Glenn Wilson, I think 2-for-4, hits 2 homers, drives in 3. Montreal steals 5. They strike out San Francisco 16 times in 11 innings as they beat the Giants 6-5. Jeff Reardon 3-2. Mark Davis falls to 2-2. Jeffrey Leonard 2-for-4, a double, a triple, and a steal. The Orioles pound out 5 homers. Jim Presley pounds out 2 in a losing effort. 14-5. Kenny Dixon falls to 2-4. Mike Morgan falls to 2-4. Eddie Murray hits 3 homers and drives in 4 in a 4-for-5 day. Tomorrow we got, you ready? The Jays and the Indians. Yeah, we'll go with that. Jays and Indians tomorrow for you. Toronto in first place. Cleveland has fallen to 4 back. So that will be the game. Tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on Retro Sports Network. Have yourselves a wonderful day, everybody.